Hey everyone, we are trying out a different filming background today, so let me know your thoughts and if this is a setup that you like or not. But my name is Nicole and I just quit my job as a recruiter to go back to nursing school and took a 6-figure pay cut. So today I thought it would be fun. I did a lot of research just figuring out like what kind of program I wanted to get into. So I have another video that's coming out that is going to just be talking about my program and like an overview of different programs and why I chose mine. But before I release that, I thought that this would be a video that would be super helpful just for anybody that's looking to go back to nursing school and doing research and trying to figure out what program is the best fit for them, because I feel like this was an area that I really struggled and kind of got confused on like the difference versus like ADN versus ABSN versus BSN versus RN to BSN and what all of that meant and what program ultimately was the best fit for me. So of course, I'm sure I'm gonna miss a lot of information here, but wanted to give you guys just an overview of my understanding of each of the options, and then why they would be a good fit or who they might be the most appealing to, just to kind of try to help you out a little bit there. And then after that, later on this week, my video will go up just talking about what program I chose, just because I think this will help fill in some of the gaps. And then of course, along the way, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave a comment down below and I'm happy to answer those. Or if anybody else is watching this and is a nurse or has knowledge about nursing, then feel free to jump in the comments down below and let me know what I missed or answer anyone's questions too. So kind of kicking things off, let's start with an ADN. So an ADN is an associate's degree in nursing. So typically from what I've found, these are going to be offered at community colleges. So it is typically a 2-year program. Around me, I saw one college had like an 18-month program, or a lot of community colleges offer like CNA to RN bridges or LPN to RN bridges. So definitely just check your local community college to see what's available. But typically this is going to be an associate's degree, so a 2-year degree in nursing. Usually this is going to be the lowest cost. And from what I found, most of the time the program is the most like flexible. So I found some that had like weekend classes, some that had evening classes, and then like a typical day class schedule too, and that they were also able to do that for clinicals. So the nice thing about that is it's going to be the lowest cost typically, and then with having that schedule flexibility, that's going to allow you to also possibly work full-time or as close to full-time as you would like while in school, which also in turn saves you even more money because you're not having to quit a full-time job to go back to school and not only pay for school, but miss out on the income you would be making while in school. So with that, typically from what I saw, most semesters were between like 12 and 16 credit hours for the college that I was looking at. I did actually apply to one of those programs, but ended up deciding to go the ABSN route. And then the nice thing is when you finish your ADN, you are eligible to sit for your NCLEX and become an RN. So with that, then you're able to be hired at a hospital and you are a registered nurse. So you're able to do all of those different responsibilities. I know that I was told when I was looking at schools a lot, which I think that maybe this was just like a misconception, just from what I saw and after talking to people in the hospital I work at now. But a lot of things that I saw said that hospitals prefer BSNs, which may be true. However, everyone that I've asked that has an ADN has said that they've never been turned down for a job for not having a BSN. So I definitely don't think that this is something that you need to put a huge emphasis on. Obviously, double check in your area first. But the nice thing is if you ever do decide you want your BSN, there is an RN to BSN bridge program that a lot of universities with nursing programs offer, and a lot of them are online. So from what I saw in my research, depending on the pace you want to work, usually it's between 9 and 12 months, and around me most of the programs are between $8,000 and $15,000. So with that, a lot of times depending on if you get a scholarship and financial aid and all of that, that is still a cheaper route than just getting your BSN, and it also allows you to start working as a nurse while you're pursuing your BSN, and then the hospital you're working for may have like tuition reimbursement benefits that you can use to get your BSN too. So that was a lot about an ADN. Kind of moving into a BSN, which is a Bachelor of Science in Nursing. That's going to be a 4-year degree. So that's going to be your typical, like you graduated high school and you're going to college. This is the full program you're taking to get your bachelor's degree or whenever you would choose to go. So the first 2 years are going to be a lot of your general classes. So your history, your fine arts credit, your English, your math, all of that fun stuff. And the last first 2 years are typically going to be nursing related. So in your gen eds, you'll probably take like your anatomy and physiology, your microbiology, and if your school requires it, your chemistry at that point in time too. And then the last 2 years will be nursing related, where you'll get into like your clinicals, your fundamentals, all of that fun stuff. And then there is also an ABSN option. So an ABSN is just an accelerated Bachelor of Science in Nursing. So in the area that I live, this is only offered to individuals that previously obtained a bachelor's degree. And then you do have to have all of your prereqs specific to the nursing program done before you start to be accepted into the program. So for instance, if you didn't take chemistry or didn't take anatomy in your undergrad previously, that's something that you would have to take and provide proof to the university to be accepted into the program, because it's basically like you're just fast forwarding through those first 2 years and kind of pressing play at the beginning of the third year, where you're just hopping straight into nursing content. So depending on the duration of the program or the length of the program you're in, I've seen them anywhere from like 12 to 18 months. For me, I didn't really want the like condensed semesters because I was worried that I would not retain the information. So mine is 15 months and it is 4 semesters that are all like normal in duration. But depending on the program you choose, some of those semesters might be cut a little bit shorter. So they might be like a 10-week semester or 12-week semester instead of 16. So I would just make sure that if you do decide to go that route, that you know you are going to be very busy and studying quite a bit, especially if the information's condensed, because you're going to be trying to keep up when things are ever changing. So that is kind of the biggest differences. So ADN's typically going to be the lowest cost. I have seen some BSN and ABSN classes that do offer schedule flexibility too, but I think community colleges typically have the most options there as far as like that goes with the ADN route. And then typically your BSN and ABSN are going to be a little bit more expensive. But the nice thing is that you can't always do an RN to BSN. But like I said, at the end of the day, all of them are going to let you sit for the NCLEX and ultimately become an RN. So it is really just up to you and your area that you're working in. It's always great to do a little bit of research first just to make sure. But that is information that a lot of these colleges and universities will have too. So hopefully this helped clear up some of that for you. Let me know if you have any questions down below, and thanks so much for watching. Take care, guys. Bye.